This video is going to talk about how to create an assembly for your parts in Onshape. At this point, obviously, you wouldn't have the assembly made, but you should have all of your separate parts completely made and ready to go. You might already have an assembly here. Actually, I think you should, but since I've used that already, you can also go over here and create a new assembly, just like that. The very first thing you're going to want to do is to bring in your first part. So you click on Insert in the top left-hand corner. And if you've made all of your parts as separate part studios, you can just click there. You've got two options. If I just click the checkbox, it's automatically going to be centered on the origin like that. See, it just kind of snaps back. Or you can place it wherever you want. I'm just going to hit the checkbox to center it right there at the origin. Now at this point, it's still going to be able to move, so before I do anything else, I want to fix this part in place. All that's going to do is make it so that that one part can't move at all. And I can base all my other parts off of that. You can see this is what I'm going for. That's that back leg there. So I'm going to next place this. Maybe I'll do this front leg next. We'll place that front leg in, and then we'll place that cross brace between them. So we'll do the same thing. Now with the front leg, and we'll place it in there. Cross brace, place it in there, and then we're done. Just hit the check marks. Now, when you go to constrain these parts, this is where it's going to be a little bit different from what you're used to if you're used to Inventor. Rather than having individual constraints that you use like mates and flushes to get rid of all your degrees of freedom, you're actually going to be able to get rid of all of your degrees of freedom, usually just with one fasten. And so you've actually got lots of options here that you can use. I'll probably make a video on a few more of these, or at least trying a few more of these out. But for most of you, if you're not doing anything too crazy, the fasten is going to be your best bet. So I'm just going to, for now, fasten my cross brace to my front leg. So that's going to be the simplest one I have. Now, when you put your mouse over this, you're going to see you get a lot of different little things popping up. Each of these spots that pops up is a different mate option for you. And so I've got like the center of the part, the center at either edge, the corners, everywhere that you might want to connect this up with something, it's pretty much got an option for. And so I know that for me, this corner on that piece is going to touch this corner on that piece. And you'll see I've got actually 2 ways or 3 ways to select that corner. And what that's doing is selecting which faces are going to be touching. So I kind of put my mouse over the face and then slide it up to that corner. And you'll see those 2 corners now touch, and those 2 faces are now parallel to each other. Now that's not the way I wanted it. I actually wanted those 2 faces to be touching each other. And what I can do here is I can just click that button, and that's just going to flip it. All it does is kind of flip that axis around. I can also rotate. I can do lots of different things. Flip, flip. The idea would be pretty much any option here I've got. And when I've got it where I want it, I can just hit the checkbox. So that's just a pretty simple one. Those 2 corners are now mated, and they move together. Pretty simple. Now, if I want to add this over to this piece, it's going to be a little bit different because I actually don't want the corners to match up. I want this to kind of go right in the middle here. And so when I do that, it's going to look a little bit different. I'm going to have to use an offset still. So now I'm going to use the same tool, and I'm going to select something where I can know where they're going to be offset from. So I'm going to go from that one there, and I'm going to rotate around here, and I'm actually going to select this top corner here, because I know that those are going to be, I think it's exactly 18 inches apart. That's how long this front leg is. So when I do that, at this point, that obviously is very wrong. I don't want it to look like that. I want to offset it. And I'm looking at this, I'm saying, oh, the Y is the up and down axis. I'm going to go to the Y axis, and I'm going to type in 18. And, whoa, that went the wrong way. So I can just add a negative in front of it. And now you'll see it goes up. It's up here at the top. So I can hit the checkbox, and now it looks like that's exactly what I wanted. The pieces here, the legs line up, and I'm good to go. And again, now it looks like I can't drag anything. they're all constrained to each other, and there's no way to get those to move anymore. And then from there, I can just keep going. Maybe I'll start adding in some of these seat boards. When I put one of these on, I can do the same thing. I'm just going to, not that one, that one. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to say, okay, well, I know that this corner here is going to match up with that corner there. And then when we look at that, that's the way I want it. If it's not, I can always flip things like this and get it to where I want to put it. And then when I'm happy with it, just hit the check mark. And from there, I can add more of my seat pieces here. For the next one I put in, I'm going to have to use an offset again, so I can show you what that looks like real quick. On this one, I might even use the top pieces. I might say I want that piece and that piece to match up, but I don't want them to touch. I actually want them offset by, in this case I'm going in the X direction, so that's the X axis. I don't want them offset by just 1 inch. So there's a 1 inch gap between them. I hit the checkbox. And then now you see that one doesn't move. So once you get the hang of this, it's actually a lot faster because you only need to use one constraint per piece to get it assembled correctly. And as far as this right here, you've got, this is your mate constraint. If you were using the mates or the flushes or anything like offsetting, you're still just going to use that. And that's still going to let you do things like match up the centers of holes or anything like that too. These more advanced ones are going to do some things a little bit smarter, like allowing a part to still turn and go inside of in and out of something, or to roll along a surface, or to rotate, or something like that. And you've actually even got some more fancy tools over here. If you have things like gears, you can actually have things that automatically set up the rotation of gears so that one rotates the other, things like that. But again, this one right here, it's called the Fasten to Mate. That's going to be your best one. The last thing I want to point out here is if you want to learn more about this, if there's something I didn't cover and you need to know how to do something, click right here where it says Learning Center, and it's going to bring up the Onshape kind of tutorials menu here. I'll just show you how to get to what you probably would want to here once it loads. Once you're in here, you're going to want to go to self-paced courses and just select all self-paced courses. And these are really good. I've gone through a few of these assembly ones myself. You can see it says continue because I've actually started that one already. So if you want to learn more about doing assemblies, you click on that. And you'll see, like, I'm on mating components and things like that. So I've actually finished the first video and I'm working through them. You'll learn more about different mates and different things as you go through these and how to make more advanced things happen that you want. They're really good videos, and they show you how to use all these different tools and things like that. So go there if you want to learn out more on how to do these assemblies, because that's kind of what you're going to be looking for if you need to learn more of these advanced tools, because the videos that they have are going to know more about these than I will, that's for sure.